Welcome to the April the 23rd, 2002 pre-taping of It Happened in Grand Prairie. As we bring you the history of our city and some of the people that have made history in our city and some of the people that are making history even this very day. And we have no history number assigned to this segment yet. We will during the end of the month of May as we're pre-taping this for our Memorial Day celebration that we have in mind. And we know that you're going to enjoy this very wonderful segment because we have two very special people on the set today. First of all, we have Gene Mullins. Gene Mullins, welcome to the set, young man.
Good to be here.
We're just glad to have you. And you are like, as I am, we're glad to be anywhere some days, aren't we? All right. And we have Margarine. Margarine, so welcome to the set with us today. You two are very special young people. And especially, Margarine, we thank you so much for being here today because we're highlighting Gene. Is that okay? Since he is our special veteran, and a special salute to the many veterans that we not only memorialize, but that we want to salute that are still with us from World War II especially. And so we're going to begin this interview, Mr. Gene, with you looking out into your camera and tell us about the real Gene Mullins. Where were you born?
Born in Indianola, Mississippi.
In Mississippi?
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to name your parents?
Cleveland.
No, your parents.
Your parents?
Oh.
Your mother and daddy.
Mom and Dad?
My mom was Sue Mae Mullins, and he was Eugene Mullins.
All right. Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I had 7 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Had 4 brothers and 3 sisters.
And 3 sisters. Okay, that is wonderful. What a great heritage you have. And did you go to school in Mississippi when you first started out as a young man?
That's what time I got to go. I was on the farm a whole lot.
You was on the farm a lot and schooled a little bit.
Done a lot of farming.
Yeah, all right.
Till I was 17.
All right, and what happened to you when you were 17?
I got out of the farm anyway.
Yes, and then where'd you go?
Well, I went to public work around.
All right.
Service station.
All right.
I run service stations and things.
All of this kind of good stuff?
Yeah.
All right, and we'd like to know a little bit more about you. When did you go into the service?
Went in 1943.
1943, you went into the service, and what branch?
Infantry.
Into the infantry, all right. And where did you go to take your basic training?
Fort McClellan, Alabama.
All right, that wasn't very far from Mississippi, was
No.
it? Okay, and you got all of that in Alabama, and when you got your training, what all did y'all do as a recruit? Marching and?
Yeah, just mostly basic training.
Basic training.
Basic training. We took a lot of that because they sent me overseas, and I went over in England and took another basic training. So that's all I took, was basic training.
All right, well now, we still have you in Alabama, and from Alabama, where did you go from there? To New York to disembark, or where?
We went to New York.
We went to Fort Meade, Maryland.
Fort Meade. Yeah.
To Fort Meade, Maryland. Okay. And Fort Meade, Maryland, how long did you stay there?
Oh, not very long. That's where I shipped out from and went to England.
All right. And when you got to England, they sent you in for some more training. Where did you take that training?
All over the moors over there.
Over in the moors, okay.
Plymouth, England, wasn't it?
Plymouth, we stationed at Plymouth. Little England was so full of soldiers that there wasn't no room over there much. You know.
It's a pretty small country compared to the United States, so when they packed y'all all in there, there was a bunch of you, weren't there? Okay, and the basic training you took over there, how was it different from the one that you took over here?
Well, it wasn't too different, but we were a little more used to it over there. They had some obstacle courses that you just didn't fly through. They had to go through them, though.
You had to get yourself ready physically, didn't you?
They were a little bit more rigid.
I made that and come out the other end of it, and I offered to go to the Rangers.
Oh.
I told them no, thank you.
Not today. Okay. And after you finished your basic training, what happened to Gene then?
Well, over there we got made the invasion the 6th of June of '44.
All right. Then they got you ready for the invasion.
Yeah.
And okay, now let's talk about that a little bit, because I know that we want to thank Kathy Edgar Goolsby, who is with the Dallas Morning News in the Arlington branch, because she's done a whole page on you. And when we get together with Louis Tovar in the studio, we're going to show and tell some things, including that great big wonderful interview that she put in the paper. That was in '94. So in '94, well, that is a wonderful archive for us to add to our history also. And on Plymouth, England, the night before you all had your orders for the invasion, what kind of a night was that? Tell me about that.
Oh, we knew something was different. And
Yes.
so we supposed to keep it a secret, but everybody knows what was happening, you know.
Yes. They suspicioned that you were
Yeah.
getting ready to do the invasion.
So we got on the ships, and
What kind of ship did they put you on?
we had a LST
All right.
we landed with.
Okay. And on that, how many were on that LST with you, approx?
Oh, there's a company or two on
A
there,
company or
yeah.
two, all right. And do you remember any of the names of any of the boys that you served with, or your commanding officer, or your sergeant, or anything like that that you'd like to put in this interview? If you don't remember them, that's fine.
I don't remember too much.
Okay. You were really excited about having to go across the channel, weren't you?
Yeah.
All right. What kind of a day was it when you
I
went
didn't know what I was getting into.
I bet you didn't. What was it, early morning when you left?
Yeah, we unloaded there with 5,000 ships. That's the biggest invasion ever assembled.
Okay.
And that 5,000 ships, we landed about 7 miles off the shore.
Uh-huh.
That's where we landed at.
Uh-huh. And then how did you get in? You waded in?
Little boats and paddled
Little boats
the
and
best way you
paddled.
could.
Everybody was on their own.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, we had these amphibious ducks,
Yeah. Oh, I see.
and so I went and we started in with those, and that water was rough out there.
Oh, I
And
imagine.
when they started off at LST,
Yes.
5 of those ducks went straight down,
Oh.
and 3 of them floated, and I was on one of the 3.
Uh-huh.
And the one floated behind us. He went around the ship, and the barge run over him.
That
So
was a dangerous place to be, wasn't it?
It was. I'm talking. So we unloaded these off of these ducks because they wasn't floating that too much.
Uh-huh.
And that water was rough. Everybody got off, but me, the 2 drivers. And the other boy my buddy who was on the other one, and he had 2 drivers. And we got there, and after we got off there, they told us to go on in. They wouldn't no way to get back on that thing. It's going up and down.
Going up and down too high, wasn't it?
And,
Okay, and so y'all went on into the beach?
We went on into
How
the
long
beach.
did it take you to get from your boat there, from the LST on into the beach? 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours?
It was close to an hour.
Close to an hour.
Them little ducks was slow, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but we got in plenty far when we got in.
And when you got to that beach, you didn't feel any safer than you were
No,
when
we
you was out
didn't.
there on the water, did you?
Well, we went in there with the 6 of us, 3 of us, and 2 ducks, and we backed one duck up to the other and right in the middle of the beach, and it was going to unload a little gun on there, and I jumped off, bullets whizzing off that thing everywhere, so I jumped off the side and got down there, and about that time my officer come by and he said, let's get up there and hook on that little gun and get it off there. I said, for some reason, I said, well, let me get my pack off. And I had no reason to take the pack off.
Yes.
But then I reached back and got my hand up on the duck, About that time, a shell hit it right in front, right in front of the windshield. And I pulled on up in there after it was cleared up. I looked up there, and the driver was still sitting there. And the assistant driver was over there just like he was operating it, you know.
Yes,
They did a hammer.
Yes.
And my buddy had crawled over on mine to hook the gun. And I looked over at him, and the bore of that gun, he went over the bore of that gun plumb up to the breech.
Wow. That was something, wasn't it? Wasn't that an experience?
I'm telling you.
And how did you get through the day, that day?
By myself.
By yourself. You were the only one left
I was the only one there.
out of the 6. And did you still have the big gun with you?
Yeah, they couldn't do nothing with it.
Yes.
So I got off. I was just heck with that big gun. I just left it.
Left it there.
I didn't listen. No, I don't know whether the officer got killed was telling me that or not.
Yes.
But I went on up there, and I'm telling you, that made my day.
That you were, at least you were left.
Yeah, and I went on, I lay down by the beach, and I seen 2 or 3 things you wouldn't believe, just laying there watching them ducks come in,
Yes.
boats come in. One guy there, he unloaded this boat, little landing craft. What it
Yes.
was. He unloaded that, and I was sitting right there and looking at him. And he got out to raise the front of it up or something. I don't know what he was doing. He was trying to help the front get up.
Yes.
And the shell hit. And he went as high as any telephone pole you ever seen. And I just thought to myself, you know, well, he's gone.
Yes.
That guy come down, he's Pearl, you know, come down, hit the water. I was sitting here, he got up fast, that thing jumped over it. I watched it far as I could see it.
Oh yes, that was a miracle, wasn't it?
I'm telling you.
Oh man, that you have had some
I
real
wouldn't believe it.
experiences. Do you ever have any nightmares or bad dreams about all the things that you went through over there, Gene?
No, not really. About the first month there, you kind of make up your mind, well, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it.
Yes.
You know, I might as well go
He
on.
did the first year after we were married.
Yeah, had nightmares.
Yeah.
All right, now when after that day, did you join up with some of the others that were along the beach, or what happened to you? You couldn't have fought this war all by yourself.
I walked on down there, and the first German I shot, we walked on down there by a house, and the guy come on with a little Tommy gun. I guess he was a ranger or something.
Yeah.
And he looked up in the loft where I was standing right next to the house. I could see up the eave, you know.
Yes.
And he just sprayed that thing with his Tommy gun. Well, I turned my gun around there about that time, and he broke through the top of this, had them masonite shingles on him.
Yes.
You know. He pushed them shingles off, and he was looking right down by him.
Yes.
So I pulled the trigger on it.
Yes. That was the first German you ever
First one.
shot.
You didn't have time to shoot if you was on that beach. You just
No.
shot anybody, you know.
Yes, and wouldn't have known it for sure.
About that same place, I had 2 or 3 grenades on me, and I was walking down this little road, and I heard the weeds cracking in a bum crater in there.
Yes.
And I pulled a grenade out, pulled a pin out of it.
Yes.
And I was fixing to walk up there where I could see down in the hole. Just about the time I got up there, a little kid cried, and I looked down in there, 2 French women and about 4 little kids. I'm telling you, that got me right there. Put that thing back in my pocket, put that pen back in it, and I took off. I didn't stay.
No.
They don't know how close I come dropping that thing in.
Yes.
He said he spent the first 2 or 3 days with the Rangers. He never did know when his outfit came on shore, but he met up with them about 3 or 4 days later.
3 or 4 days later, you found your guys then.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was with a platoon of Rangers. I just fell in with them, and we'd going down a little dirt road there, about 14 of us, I guess.
Yes.
And they said the enemy's on the right and friendly troops on the left. And we'd go about 10 foot, and they said the enemy on both sides.
Yeah.
So we'd shoot them, run them back in the woods, and you know, we went that day. Well, the officer told us, he said, we're 5 miles ahead of the front line.
Oh my.
I said, you gotta keep kidding.
Yes.
He said, no, I ain't. Said, y'all, it was dark. Said, if y'all gonna, said, you keep your head in that hole tonight, we're gonna shoot at anything that moves.
At anything that moves, so you better stay in.
He'd stay in there, and I hadn't had anything to eat, no sleep, since I left England on that
Yes.
ship and everything.
Yes.
72 hours.
And so we got in a hole, and it come to rain that night.
Oh
It was
dear.
about 2 o'clock in the morning we got in a hole, but we must have went right to sleep. I woke up, and that boy I was with had 2 GI shoes sitting right under my chin, stretching. That scared me to death. What in the world going on?
Yes.
And I woke up, and it was raining, and the water up to there then.
Oh, it was already coming up on
I
you all.
said,
Let's get
I
out
said,
of
boy,
here.
you better get up. We're gonna get drowned here. And we got up about that time. Then that ranger officer told us we're gonna go back. You know.
Yes.
So
Because you were ahead of the line.
yeah, we were 5 miles too far ahead.
Yes.
So I was glad to hear that. So I went back with them, and I met my corporal. I seen he was a big guy. I knew him anywhere. He's looking over the hedgerow right there, and I seen him out there digging a hole. I said, "Oh," I said, "right here's where I get off."
Yes, that was time, wasn't it?
So I went out there, and he looked at me. He said, "I thought you'd had it." I said, "No, I ain't had it yet." And so I said, the first thing I asked him, I said, "Y'all got anything to eat?" He said, "Yeah." He said, and he said, 2 or 3 cans of sea rations up there. And I went and got that, and I ate them. I sat there and drank water. And we'd drink water out of cow tracks.
Yes. Glad to have it.
Yeah, but the rest of the water, they said was poured. And
Yes.
so we didn't dare say it. And I got him, and I told him, I said, I got to rest. I got to have some rest. He said, sit down over and take your little nap. I sat down over and slept about 2 hours. And I woke up, I felt so good. You know.
Yes, ready to go again.
And then I felt, I sat there, and after I got looking at, I was kind of taking inventory.
Yes.
So when I went with the Rangers, all I remember, I had 2 bandoliers of ammunition, 4 or 5 grenades, and that's what I had with me.
Yes.
So then I got up there, I got to checking I had 2 empty bandoliers, and I didn't have no grenade,
Oh my.
and I didn't know what happened to them.
Yes.
I threw them at somebody or something, but
Yes.
that, you know, I guess you just done it out of the wild blue yonder.
Yes, and you just probably blank it out of your
Yeah.
mind. All right, now tell me the name of your outfit that you left with. What was your company?
29th Division.
The 28th?
29th.
The 29th Division. Let's get all that down because we haven't even asked you that. The 29th Division of the Infantry.
Yes.
The 116th Infantry,
116th Infantry.
And he was in the Cannon Company.
Cannon Company.
Cannon Company. Okay. And we need to know all of that because...
Yeah, that 116th spearheaded that beach landing, and the Omaha Beach was the worst one there. They didn't come no worse than it did.
Yes.
I think about 5,000 landed. They said about over half of them were either killed or wounded that hit Omaha Beach.
At Omaha Beach.
It was the worst
Yes,
one.
that was the worst of all. Well, tell me a little bit after you went through this first day or two and finally got some food, then where did you proceed to?
Well, I stayed with the company. Then we were just hedgerow to hedgerow, you know.
Going on into France.
Yeah, well, St. Lo was about 18 miles from there, from the beach, and we supposed it took it 3 days. We took it in 42 days.
Ooh, it took that long.
It did. So we were just fighting hedgerow to hedgerow.
Mm-hmm.
And
who brought you your ammunition up to you?
oh, we had it come up behind us in a truck or something.
And,
you know, we go
yes,
back and get it.
Go back and get it, and then go back out to your hedgerow.
You know, one night I was going back about 2 fields to pick up some ammunition, and it started a little counterattack. So I dropped down in this hedgerow, and I just sat there, I was taking it easy, you know, just and all of a sudden, right over my head, I said, look at him. So I eased my gun back and set it up against the hedgerow like that. I could touch the guy's gun. And I said, I didn't want to bother him. He had a burp gun there.
Yes, he did.
Up, see?
Oh, yes.
So I waited a little bit and directly he left.
Yes.
I just looked around, he'd gone, so I went on and got mounted.
Yes, You were lucky there.
Well, I was lucky several times.
Yes, And how long did you remain in France?
Till it was over. I was on the front line 296 days.
You was on the front line 296 days. Hedgerow to hedgerow and on in.
Yeah. We left St. Lo when we pulled out of there. We on down in South France and took that submarine nest down there. So then we caught up with them just as they was getting into Belgium.
Yes.
So we hit them. We got just about the Battle of Bulge we got in there.
Okay.
And
Well, you've hit all the major battles nearly so far, haven't you?
I got 6 of them right there.
Well, let's hold that up because I think Mr. Tovar can come out. If you'll hold that up when he comes out to one of these, I want you to hold it up right here and show and tell this when Mr. Tovar gets here, because all of those different ribbons are representative of different battles.
Yes,
Is that it?
And the stars is 4 campaigns tonight.
All right. Okay, Louis. Look at that. Isn't that good? And all of those are different campaigns that you were on.
Except the one on the end, that's our Purple Heart down there.
That's the Purple Heart one.
Yeah.
Yes. And you have that long rifle on this one right here.
That's that and the citation. This was citation. I get $10 a month for that rifle and $10 a month for that right there.
Well, let's turn it over and show the other side too, because while Louis is here, we want to take advantage of all that. And is this the one that you get 10 for, this blue one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was for what?
This $10 a month. That's what.
That's valor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And you have down here that that is the Veterans of Foreign Wars. That's your cap for them, but all of those other things on there. And you're the VFW 4477. Mm-hmm. Is that here in Grand Prairie?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you're an honored member of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, while we have Louis here, we've seen your cap. I want you to hold up that book and tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, this is that's some of the D-Day there.
Well, now see, you're looking at that, but my people can't see it. You're going to have to hold it up like this. Now, this is the D-Day picture right here of where you all landed. What is this book?
This is just on to the 29th Division on his outfit.
29th Division.
And it looks like a world book.
No,
It tells about the 29th Division from the time they left England and on through the war.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
okay.
And it has the pictures of some of his officers in there.
When we left St. Lo, we went down to Brest and took some submarine there.
Yeah.
and we took this fort right here.
Aha. Well, that was an exciting adventure,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yes. Is there
That was
anything
about
else you
that
want
was
to show
about
in
the-
this book?
About the third man through the hole to take it. And they went down through there and went in the end of the building down now. And I seen a whole case of German Lugers when I went in there.
Yes.
I said, well, I'll get me one to come back out. I run on through there and I run back down there with the German
All
Luger.
gone.
All gone.
All gone. They didn't even last the time, did they? All right, now I want you to hold up this, open that paper and hold that up in front of you there that Kathy has done. That's
Here.
Kathy Edgar Goolsby has done. Let's get a.
That's him in his uniform right there.
Oh, that is good. We ought to get him that in your uniform right over here, Gene.
And these right here are some papers that they were thrown out. The Germans.
This is Gene right up here in the upper left-hand corner, Louis. Louis has got that one on there. Look at that, Louis. You are a genius. Okay, and here's a picture of Gene in 1994. Let me get that turned down in the middle. Help me hold that up and let them see your picture there in 1994. See? You haven't changed much since 94.
No.
Yeah. That is good. This is, that is said, D-Day memories remain strong 50 years later, and this says the beginning of the end, plus the fact now that was 94, and this is 8 years later, and you're still kicking and doing good, and you have this wonderful, wonderful book, which is magnificent, and it's dedicated. It says 29. Let's Go, The History of the 29th Infantry Division in World War II by Joseph Ewing, and it's Washington Infantry Journal Press. And did you buy this book?
They sent it to me.
Okay. And I think that's about all of the show and tell that we have, Louis, in case you're out of here.
I wanted to show you this.
All right. And when did you two get married, Marjorie?
2 weeks after he got home.
2 weeks after he got home. Oh, that is wonderful. And
This is dead roster.
Back, right here, all of this.
I knew it. This is more than that. It goes down to there.
that many pages.
That's many pages in there.
That has, let's see if it has a page number. It was 303. It goes all the way from 291 to 303, and this is the roster of the battle dead. And hold that up right under you, and I know that we can, there you go. See, we're getting that picture of that in there. That's really great. Thank you for sharing that much with us. But now we want to talk a little bit more about your, when D-Day was over and going on into France till the end of the war. Where did you end up finally?
We finally wound up we was going to meet the Russians, and
we have 1 minute left on this interview. And just tell me where you were at the end of the war.
Bremerhaven.
Bremerhaven, Germany.
I shipped out 250 freight car loads a day of prisoners, sending them home. But I loaded the cars with rations. I put the rations on there.
That's when the German PWs were coming home.
Well, we finally got you all married, and you're in Grand Prairie, Texas now, and you are a school patrol at Austin Elementary School, and you're one of the greatest World War II heroes that we've ever had in Grand Prairie. I want to thank you so much for this interview, and I'm sorry we didn't have more time. We're going to have to bring you back between now and the next Memorial Day and finish up our interview, right? You want to put your cap on while we end this show? I think that would be good, that we could end the show. All right. Doesn't that look neat? Thank you. And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as he lives, and we live and watch him do the things that he's done for America. Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you very much, Marjorie.